Hello, everybody. This is Morten from Inkish. Very proud of being part of the reveal of the PC2120 here in Hanover, a suburb to Chicago. And I'm with my really dear friend, Andrew Gunn.
Not Andy today?
It depends a little bit because it depends on how you answer.
Oh,
no,
okay. All right.
No, Andy or Andrew. It's actually funny because I call you, I switch between what I call you.
Yeah, I sometimes get Andy, Andrew, hey you.
Yeah.
I don't think you've called me Drew yet, though.
Drew.
Yeah, you can do it if you want. Yeah.
Andy is good. Yeah. Andy is good. So, congratulations on your new reveal.
Yeah, thank you very much. What did you think?
I think a couple of things. I think it's a fabulous machine. I also think that you and Tactiful did a fantastic presentation of the machine and capabilities.
Yeah. And unscripted, by the way.
Yeah. Okay, and market opportunities, yeah. Right? But I'm just wondering, sometimes when I see a reveal that is focusing so much on the CMYK Plus, whether it can print without the Plus.
Yeah, well, and that's one of the things that I tried to focus on was, it's easy to print pretty pictures, right? But there's so much more to it than that, right? And yes, we brought out green, and I love green, you love green, we all love green, right? But I think the thing I wanted to focus on was the ability to take the hands off the job, not just using inline automation, but taking it to that next step with using the agentic AI that we're doing on the front end. So those things combined really want to create the story. It's almost what's the word I'm looking for? It's almost like the groundswell or the foundation or the bedrock of the CMYK Plus story. That's the crescendo, but the base of it is the automation and the press availability.
And that was the only thing I was missing, because I think, when you asked me, I think that we talk about business models. You and I, we love talking about business models and strategies and like that. And that is what always is missing from almost all vendors. Is that, okay, how do I actually monetize from? Because if it's the 5% that is like the high value print, but what about the 95%? I need to get those customers as well, right?
Yeah.
And the machine can do it, no question about it. We were with one of your customers yesterday, Team Concept, right?
Yeah, Team Concept's just 10 minutes down the road. Yeah.
1 million print a month on a machine that is basically supposed to make 600, 700.
Yeah. We're going to need them to get a second and a third, though, for that.
Precisely.
But I think that, I always say the CMYK Plus on the digital embellishments, that will bring customers in the door, but what keeps them in the black, or in the green for now, is the embedded automation piece, the AI. Again, AI is this overused term that people have sort of just thrown out there and said, we do AI and stuff. It's like, well, what kind of AI? Is it agentic AI? Is it predictive AI? Is it generative AI, right? So we're using actual agentic AI to make things better for our customers. So yeah, shiny stuff brings them in the door, to your point, right? But it's all the other good, the good for color, the automation, the breadth of media. Look at all the partners that we got there. That's what keeps them printing and running. And I think, we sometimes sleep on that. Unfortunately, it's not always the sexiest thing to talk about, as we know. So we like to talk about the headlines, right?
Yes. So. And I appreciate that as well. And that's so that's also why I say both. Because I think that when you have a presentation of equipment, it's also important to understand in what context. And it is both spaces it needs to operate. Otherwise, it's simply too narrow, in my opinion, right? So, and then I would say also that when I look at the machine, and that is on the super positive side, I think that the improvements that you have made, because, a customer that come in and see the PC1120 and see the 2120, it looks like the same, right? Yeah. More or less, right? So it's again, when you listen and both to the AI thing to it, but I think that your substrate measure thing.
Well, the substrate profiler, I mean, that is just a step function improvement. I mean, think about how much time you spend. Even on your home printer, let's say I go in, what are the inherent properties that you're punching into it? You're spending quite a bit of time. Now I measure that. It's got 4 different measuring tools, right? It's a digital caliper, coded, uncoated, what's the profile? And all of that will decide, okay, here's the second bias transfer charge that we're going to apply to that paper. It takes a while to get your head around it. For me, I certainly know when I was in Japan learning about it, I'm like, this is going to take me a bit because it's next level.
Maybe you should sell a service where the same device can actually be used for all your devices in your print shop.
So I wouldn't. You know what? So we're looking at options where we can have that as it's going to come as standard, which. I love the fact that we're not going to, it's buying a 2120 will not be a punitive exercise. It's not going to be one of these things, you can have it, but if you want good ease of use, you got to pay extra for it. Why would you pay extra for it? So we realized we'll make it standard. Having said that, we do want to look at ways that we can bring that downstream into some of the other products for, well, as you can see, for this fine folks here behind me, which are customers. So, yeah.
So I think that is great. I think it's great with the puncher, as you also mentioned, with the tools for punching, because I mean, a lot of people that use this format just need to punch it for VIOs,
Punch,
for whatever.
exactly.
Right? Yeah.
Multi-position punching with Plotmatic, landscape booklets. So we've got more oomph, so to speak, on this press with oomph without the ow, as we say, right? Without that human intervention.
Yeah. So everything is good, and I think it's wonderful. I'm sometimes wondering if it's an iteration rather than a new generation, because I understand that, of course, you have a good working platform, and you know how much we love revolutions, right? We talk about them all the time. We have, I think that one of the words that have been used many times today as well is disruption, right? Yeah. So when is the disruptor coming to market?
When is Disrupt coming to market?
I mean like from a Fujifilm machine perspective.
I mean, we do that every day. I mean, we're the lead dog here, right? We're the ones who put the technology out there for others to use, right?
That's true.
Let's face that. So, I think every day with every product that we bring out, like we're gonna continue to lead. We're gonna be the first that are going to bring these products to the fore. You know, we're going to continue with workflow. We're going to continue with color management, because remember, let's forget about the print for a second. Think about the color management. We come from a legacy of what? Offset plates, right? Yeah. So we bring this whole generation of customers who are now saying, we're saying buy digital. Well, we also need to teach them, okay, well, if your offset is going to behave in this fingerprint space, this space, we need to give you this digital to have it look and behave the same way. So color management, it's funny, it seems like it kind of died off for a little while, because when you go from, but when you go from digital to digital, it's not as important. But when you're going from legacy plates to production toner, and let's face it, toner is now, from a quality perspective, toner is caught up to offset, as good or better, right? And we can argue, it's my position, it's a fact. Yeah. I think that we've got, so I'm kind of leading with that, whether you're offset, whether you're digital, whether you're wide format, whether you're gravure or flexo, we're going to make this look the same, right? And that's one of the things we're talking about. So we're leading that revolution there, that evolution, if you will. And then look, everything that we do here is a step function improvement of taking these two little things called human intervention out of the job. So I like to think with every product, there's some small step, whether it's small or big, we're taking it.
It's always unfair to meet the press, because we always want more.
More. Well, what's our motto? Make more.
Yeah, precisely. Right. So don't be too surprised about it. I was just wondering, it just stroked me. I mean, it's also a little funny comment right now, but if you look at the plate business for Fujifilm, it's you and Kodak and Eco 3 that are basically the three that are left, right? Yeah. Could you be so bold to say that, okay, you withdrew from inkjet because the plate market is still bigger, and then we need to be focusing on the SRA3?
Well, I think it's fair. I mean, look, the reality is the plates is still a core business. It's still keeping the lights on, in a lot of the areas, right? It's still a profitable business that we've got a responsibility to serve that space, and also not just guide them, but hold their hand into this digital space. It's our obligation to do that, right? But the sun also shines on toner, right? The sun also shines on workflow. A3, A4 workplace, right? We own the innovation, so we've got to bring that forward. So I'm taking the scenic route to kind of answer that question. So we're going to continue to serve that market while fostering the production toner, but also the workplace A3, A4 multifunction space. Because again, our dealer channel is getting huge. But not just that, we've also got things like the FP790 digital packaging press, which of course is done well in Europe, right?
We have covered one of your customers.
Yeah, that's right, in Germany, right? Yeah. So, we've got a plan for the FP790 in North America in 2026. We're looking at, a huge growth. So Tony Aquino's leading that side of the business as well as the plate side. So we're very excited about the packaging space, but again, I think we're putting a lot of our investments in the production toner space, whether it's entry level or it's the 2120, prod color space. We're focusing our investments. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So let's change a little bit.
Okay.
Because
you're going to change gears on me now? Yeah. It's not like you.
No. I was just thinking, because the market both in Europe and the US, I don't know so much about the Asian market, but I think I have a pretty good idea about the Asian and the European and the American market when it comes. It's like it seems a little bit that sometimes people are a little bit in distress. Should I invest? Should I wait? Should I do it now? Should I do it later?
Yeah.
And
there's also a bit of FOMO that goes on with that, right? Like I see my competitors updating. I need to do that. It's
Precisely.
like you don't always need to do that. And I saw this article and I was like, I get that.
Yeah, and I was the reason I'm asking for it is like when you as a manufacturer go to market, I mean, obviously you evaluate the market and maybe stress test it whether people need this or something else in order to make your sales. But since you're also very much into business models and the philosophic questions that you and I have discussed multiple times, where are you in the market compared to, let's say, Konica Minolta, to Xerox, to Canon, to Ricoh, I mean, to the ones that you have direct competition with here? Because, I mean, the machine is great, no question about that. I think that Fujifilm is constantly proving that you support your customers in the market, but it's still a competitive market, right?
It's a competitive market, and the first thing you always want to do is acknowledge the fact that your competitors are great. Yeah. They're doing great things. Now, I'm going to use it again, but as the tides rise, all the boats rise together, right?
Yeah.
So we've gotten to the point now where we've kind of democratized digital print as a additive replacement, I'll say, for offset. So first of all, acknowledge the quality that they do. But I think with Fujifilm, we're a little bit different in the fact that, we're such a diverse company, right? We've got medical imaging, we've got photo imaging, we've got...
So some of the things you spoke about in your presentation is that how you combine
exactly.
it.
So if we take a look at medical imaging and we take a look at the fact that, some of our ultrasound technology, it can find an anomaly, in a scan. Well, why don't we use that same principle using our agentic AI to find an anomaly in print? So instead of fixing the health of the person, we're fixing the health of your print, right? Not to sound too hokey, but
that's totally fair you say that, and I think it's great that is also part of the launch and the talk track. I think that's great. But my question is in that case again, like, okay, why should let's say that I use I have a printing company 10 minutes down the street.
Yeah.
Happens to be there.
Yeah.
And I have a PC 1120 now.
Yeah. 2
of them.
Yeah.
Next time, should I buy an inkjet machine that you don't deliver, or should I buy the 2120 upgrade,
right.
or where do I see Fujifilm in that ecosystem that I, as a customer, should grow with?
Well, I think that's a great question. But again, it's focusing on what you do well and stretching the limits of what you couldn't do well with the previous generation. So for example, something as simple as a static eliminator that we didn't have on previous technologies, right? Well, what's the struggle with electrostatic technology? You're putting it through a heated fuser,
Yep.
right? Mm-hmm. You're stretching it, you're tearing it, you're pulling it, and then you're cooling it to hopefully go back to the original size that it was. So now with things like static eliminator, and I always use this term like learning from sins of the father, the father being the former device that maybe could have been better, right? So now if you use like things like static eliminator or the paper stock profiler, again, it's all about what you learned from the previous, right? So yes, it's important to know what the competition does, but know what you didn't know yesterday to fix what you're going to do tomorrow, so to speak. Yeah.
I have 2 of these now.
Yep.
I'm going to the next generation. I need something, and I want Fujifilm to be part of my future ecosystem.
Yeah.
And you have taken inkjet out of the equation. So what do I do?
We're not going to chase inkjet applications for our toner-based technology, right? We're going to give you, like I said, better image quality, better color, better flexibility. What was the original 5th color? Media, right? We're going to give you access to more of that. Well, you're looking for certain salient silver bullets. I can't give you that. What I will give you is success by 1,000 paper cuts, so to speak. Okay.
I'm looking for an answer that is like, we can give you the certainty of profitability because we keep innovating the technology, and we can multiply the capacity.
Right. So I would never say, philosophically speaking, you're never going to say, I'm going to guarantee you better ROI. No. That's why you will hear me say, what do I say? What I say is, we're going to give you the best access to the best ROI humanly possible in this space. Access is not decided at the end of the day by me. Access is decided by that entire ecosystem of offerings that both the customer has as well as the customer. So it becomes this Lego play, if you will.
But is it a good question?
It's a great question, but it's a nuanced question with a nuanced answer. Yeah. So can't give a silver bullet to you. So I'm saying it's more of a philosophical, Q&A session, if anything.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah.
No. So basically, for all the customers out there, they should not look to others. They should basically keep looking at Fujifilm.
Well, why would you look anywhere else?
Yeah, I don't know why people do that, but that happens.
You get to come to Chicago, you get to go to Topgolf, you get to see some cool new innovation, right? there's no need to go anywhere else.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thanks.